William Hill sponsors Frampton versus Quigg on Sky Sports Box Office.
I thought first 4 or 5 rounds was like a bit of a chess match. Felt in control. He was probably being a bit busy, but nothing was landing, and I could see everything that he was throwing and catching everything. And I think it was at the end of the 4th round he caught me with a peach of an uppercut, which has done my jaw. So that put a bit of, I had to reevaluate what we're doing a bit, be a bit more careful for a bit longer, just to make sure the jaw was still okay and it weren't too sore, but everything was fine. I had round 5 off a bit, just to make sure I wasn't weren't too much pain, and they weren't at all, and then it was just about to start going through the gears, and maybe I left it a bit late.
The fact it is a split decision, a rematch, can it be a rematch?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it was a close fight. I felt that he gave too much of the fight up in the first half, but again, a great finish. I thought he hurt him badly in the 11th, and if we can get a fight that we have 12 rounds like the last 5, I think we would be very happy. But first of all, there's obviously a lot that's going to happen with the belts, Riggindale and Shingo Wake. So first things first, the doctors confirmed that it's likely that his jaw is broken, and we hope that he'll be pinned. So that's hopefully it's a crack, and he's looking forward to the X-ray that will be coming after. The same thing with Ricky Burns, but hopefully he won't need pins in it, and then we can look to capture the belts, and if not, rematch Frampton. I think it remains the biggest fight. We had an agreement where if the TV broadcasters wanted to see the fight, we would return to Belfast for a reverse split if Scott Quigg won, or the same split. But obviously it's a decision really for the broadcasters. If the fans want it, if the money's there, then obviously it's a fight Scott would take. And I think once he watches that back, he'll feel like he can win the fight. If he started faster.
Do you feel like you left too much in the tank tonight, Scott? That you could have gone earlier?
I could do 20 minutes. I'll always have something left in the tank. My tank will never be empty, because of how fit I am. But with someone who's as good as he is, hits like he does, beforehand, until you've been in the ring with him, I'm not going to run out there in the first 2 or 3 rounds, and it's about following what we worked on in the gym, and everything was going to plan. I felt comfortable in there. I didn't think I was getting it, and I had a very, very good 4th round, and it was towards the back end when I caught him with a hook, and then he come back with a right uppercut, and that was because I wanted to start going through the gears then, but fair play to me, caught me with the uppercut, and straight away I knew my jaw had gone. So it was just about seeing how bad it was, and like I said, round 5 I was a bit more careful just to see, but again it didn't affect me one bit, and so that's no excuses whatsoever, and then it was just about going through the gears, and as one of the judges give it me, seeing it how I was seeing it, how the fight was going, I felt very, very comfortable in the first 4 or 5 rounds, even though it was a bit of a chess match, nothing much happening. So it was whatever you like. 2 of the judges liked him, obviously, and one of them liked me.
What was your take early on with Ferreira and Morales? And their fights obviously got better as they fought each other more. Do you think this rivalry lends itself to that? 2 or 3, even 4 fights?
I mean, obviously there was great fighters, there was a great trilogy as does, but I do think that if there was another one, I think it would take off from where we just left. Being in the last 5 rounds when I started really going at it and putting it on him, I felt really in control, and you could hear the crowd, and it sounded like they was enjoying it.
Joe, what was your take on the first 6, 7 rounds?
I had a level after 4. After 4 rounds, it was 2 apiece. And I thought to myself, right, okay, we were beginning again, came back to the corner, so his jaw had gone. Flipping hell, so I said, don't try and do anything silly, don't retaliate. Obviously, I think we lost then mid-rounds, 5, 6, 7. And then someone told us in the corner, like, Sky be 6-1 down, like, fucking what? So that's how subjective boxing is. Them early rounds, when nip it up, depends what you look at. If you're in America and it was Mayweather, he wasn't getting hit, you give the rounds to Mayweather. Quigg didn't get hit in them early rounds, just touching gloves, but didn't land anything. And then, like I say, 7, and then, like I say, Scott came strong, then 8, 9, 10, 11. I thought if we get this 12th round down, we're like, I mean, we've got this, but fair play to Carl, he came out from, like I say, a bad 11th round and took the 12th, and I thought, well, it's a round either way here, or the draw, so, like I say, no complaints, it was a good fight, and like you say, it's all to do subjective scoring at them early rounds, but like I say, it was a good fight. Like I say, I could hear the crowd getting a little bit restless, and that's what we wanted, was a pressure to come on Carl to make the fight, and I think when we heard that we were so far behind, then the onus was on us to go and make the fight then and take it to Carl, and that's what he did do. He set about him, and I know it was a lot more entertaining, but it left us a little bit more at risk. But fair play to Scott, he landed some good shots, and he had Carl, I think, nearly out on his feet in the 11th. So, like you say, we're more than happy, ready to do it again.
In a rematch, would you start a little bit more, with a bit more adventure, a bit more aggression?
All these guys' tactics.
I thought early on, it's when you're against, let's say, when you watch Mayweather, Pacquiao, when you watch Canelo, Cottle, the elite top fighters, people mention Barrera and Riley's, and you never see the first 3 or 4 fights, bar Hagler, Hearns, where they go at it, they're so slow, and it builds up like a freight train, and then they go out at the end, and the respect there was shown in the first 4 rounds. It was like chess, and the people that said Scott didn't have a boxing brain, then the build up to this, I think he showed that in the first 4 or 5 rounds, his movement, making Carl miss, making him overreach, and I thought he did really well, but like I said, the shot on the jaw just was like a bit of a curveball, and having to regroup from that and not take chances of getting hit on that again. But like I say, he came strong, made a fight of it, landed some punishing body shots, and I played Carl, he stuck up to them and came back with some of himself, and like I say, I think the fight will be remembered for the last 4 rounds instead of the first 4 rounds.
Were you in pain? Were you in pain?
No, I'm not right. When I got hit with, I thought, that didn't feel right, and then I couldn't close my mouth properly because it felt like my tooth was out. But no, when I got hit on it again, it was just numb, so no, it weren't painful, it was just, you could just, felt like I had an injection at the dentist.
The rematch, the only fight you want, Scott? One end of the fight before.
Yeah, obviously it'd be there's a fight I want. You know, he's just beat me, and I want to, you know, I'm 100% believe I can beat him. You know, being in there and being very comfortable, and then going over and putting it on him like I did in the last bit. Like I say, it's all whatever the judges seen. You know, but in them first early rounds, I wasn't getting it at all. You know, he might look to be a bit busy, I was making him miss, but again, I'm not going to be one of them that sit here and he's got the decision, he's a world champion, you know, he's a great fighter, and I'm not going to discredit him getting the win. The judges have seen it his way, so fair play to him.
Did you just have a chat after Scott, or any words saying?
Say again?
Did you just have a chat after? Or?
Just it was in the ring. There's always been respect between me and him. It's part of boxing. You know, anybody who laces up a pair of boxing gloves and gets in that ring, whether it's charity level, amateur level, or professional level, it takes a lot of balls and guts to do that. And someone who you share in the ring, a world champion, selling out in arenas together. We've just both boxed on Sky Sports pay-per-view. You know, you've got to respect that, and we're only performed on that platform today because of we're both where we are. You know, me fighting someone else and him fighting someone else isn't going to make it. We're not going to get a pay-per-view fight with that. It was because of both of us, you know. And so I respect him and he respects me.
Would you offer him Belfast for the rematch then? Would you go there?
Well, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's what, you know, that's where it would be. And, you know, we'd jump it out both hands. I think it'd be very loud. But the atmosphere tonight was incredible. Both sets of fans, and you know,
generally. Do you not consider Wembley?
No, I think that Belfast is, you know, where the fight would be if there was number 2. But you know, again, well done to the fans. What I can see in their initial assessment is everyone was reasonably well behaved.
Do you like the idea of a constructed arena at the Titanic
Not really, no, I think it's outdoors, Windsor Park or something like that.
Just
In terms of the possibility of doing that this summer, best case scenario with Scott's injury is that...
Well, again, till he's assessed in the 11 X-ray straight after that.
Scott, you said pretty much you'd be heartbroken to lose a fight and you hate losing. You're carrying that sort of sadness with you. You look a little bit perkier than I expected since you were so determined that your feet would be terrible.
So it's an act.
Okay.
Killing inside. You know, I'm not going to come in and mope about in front of you all. You know, I'm absolutely devastated. You know, I'm a born winner. You know, if anyone shows you, if I ever see a good loser, I'll say he was a born loser. You know, it's killing me. But I'll come back and, you know, I'll be better for it.
How difficult is it going to be to go through these negotiations again? You know how long it's taken for this fight to happen?
No, it's not. It's just purely if the TV want it. If the TV want it, it'll happen again. So, you know, that's a process. The first thing to do is assess the injury. You know, the first thing that I said, part of my job is speak to the IBF and say, if he does not fight Shingo Wake, we want to fight Shingo Wake for the IBF title. And I think that's what would happen. I think he'd be re-ranked at number 3 anyway. There's no number 2. Number 1 is Shingo Wake. That's an option. You've got Guillermo Rigondeaux. Carl Frampton's not going to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux for the WBA title. We've probably got a shot at Guillermo Rigondeaux for the WBA title if we want that as well. Benito Donaire, you know, we've been in talks with Top Rank for a long time for Benito Donaire. There's a fight he can go straight back into. I think he has 4 options, and I think they all involve world title fights. So, and he is gutted. I mean, you know, you've missed the tears, and you know he's not too proud to say it. And a special thank you to Wayne Rooney as well, who just spent a lot of time with him, you know, telling him to keep his chin up. He should be proud, you know. Not very often you get a chance to be a part of something like that.
What did Wayne say, Scott, to you?
Just keep my chin up. I said I'll have to keep it straight at the minute first. But no, he was just saying, you know, he lost Champions League Cup finals and it hurts. But you gotta, you know, keep your chin up and just, you know, come again and learn from it and come back stronger. And, you know, words from someone of his, you know, stature. I'm very grateful for him to come and give me them words.
Scott, was Frampton better than you thought he was, or was there anything that surprised you about him?
No, nothing surprised me. I always respected him as a fighter. I thought he was a quality fighter, but to be honest with you, I felt more comfortable in there than I was expecting. I was expecting to be under the cosh quite a bit in the first half of the fight. I thought we were going to start fasting, but I've seen everything that he was doing. I was onto every trick that he was onto doing, except from obviously the uppercut. But the only thing that I probably needed to do myself was get my shots off quick enough. After in the early rounds, I was blocking all the shots. He wasn't landing at all. Maybe I should have counted a bit more.
I think Carl boxed very cautiously throughout the fight, and it was only ever Scott that was wanting to engage. Every time Scott wanted to engage, Carl would hold him up and try and nullify the action. So he never wanted to engage with Scott Quigg, and I think that was his game plan, and it worked. You know, the fact that he didn't want to engage in the early part of the fight that won him those early rounds, and it was the fact that he would tie him up and didn't want to engage, and only really in probably the 11th and 12th, he started to engage. And massive respect for him for winning the 12th round, because I did very close after the 11th round. But he was hurt badly in the 11th round, and I was screaming at Scott to jump on him because he was out on his feet. And when he went back to his stall, he looked in a terrible state, and he come back and he won the last round. So, you know. But I think, looking at tactics, I think his plan was to box very cautiously, and I think it paid off.
Scott, did you think you were close to stopping him at any stage in that 11th round? Well, were you hoping to go
in and stop him? I hit him with a right hand in that 11th round, and then he really pinged him, and like I fought the 12th round. I come out, I thought, right, I've got him, because as I said, I seen him go back to his corner the way he did, so I thought his tank's empty. But the way I come out for the 12th, if you see I come out and I swung my name maker and I spun myself right. But, so in a way I did him a favour because I come out too aggressive and like trying a bit too hard, so obviously it's like trying to drive a car with an handbrake on. You know, it works against you if you don't relax, and I come out trying to put it on him with power shots and with every shot instead of just letting it go, and it slowed me down and it helped him, and he had a good 12 round. I still wanted some shots in it and caught him with some shots near the end of it, but he'd already, you know, probably danced away and already spun myself around. So it really looked like I lost control of that round.
Scott, you seem to be throwing very hard body shots and you didn't seem to be hurting him, but Carl was also throwing back at you. Was he hurting you at any stage in those later
rounds? The body steel. You know, to be fair, he landed a couple of body shots, but on this truth, he was just bouncing off me. And it's just, I can take them all day to the body, but to be fair, he was getting off some good body shots, but I did feel like I was creasing him to the body.
Scott, how long do you think you're going to be out of action with this?
We've got a crystal ball. It's getting more and more painful as the adrenaline is wearing off.
Right, guys.
Just regardless of the jaw, are you going to take some time out now because you're always in the gym? Are you going to actually take a breather?
To be honest with you, if it weren't for the jaw, I'll be back in the gym Monday. Again, like I say, I'm putting on the brave face here. It's absolutely killing me inside, but I'll be back, and as soon as I can get back in the gym, I'll be putting the work in, and I'll make sure it never happens again.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
William Hill sponsors Frampton versus Quigg on Sky Sports Box Office.